and who I was helping to take care of at this time because, you know, he was older. And I literally would get emails, calls when you coming back to work. When you come back to work.
Oh, like very insensitive.
When you come back to work. Yep, my dad passed on a Saturday and I was in a meeting. Went on time off on like a Tuesday. So I just was like, and then it got to the point where like it was being said that, oh, we can't have get a long-term sub for your kids unless you can take a leave of absence. Well, what leave of absence can I take? We don't have bereavement.
Yeah.
Well, you can try for FMLA. I'm like, but you know this don't qualify for FMLA. So it's kind of like, well, you're going to be out of time. And so, you know, we're going to have to, like, your pay. I was like, you know what? I want my kids to be able to have somebody consistent every day. So, like, you're not going to dangle a salary in my face. Because when it comes to my dad and anything, it's always gonna be him.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Then I guess I have no choice but to resign. So I resigned. So it wasn't like a happy time, but that's when I was like, cause I mean I love teaching. I really feel like that's my very first passion, teaching. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I guess it's just time I gotta focus on me because I had started Beast in Athletics in 2019, right before the pandemic, and then it was just kind of like, oh, I wasn't really like pouring my all into it, you know. I have, you know, had this and that or whatever. I wasn't really consistent with content. I didn't even have a social media page. And then when that happened, you know, I kept grieving for like 2 more months, and then I was like, okay, because now this is your main source of income, so now you gotta step it up, and now you gotta do what you need to do. And you know what? The peace of mind that I have, being a full-time entrepreneur, my peace, my time, I mean, I would not trade it for the world. I don't care what I'm going through, what my business going through, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to make it work because I can't go back to somebody else. Feeling like they had a power over me. Where you going to try to make me choose between grieving my father in this job.
So question. So we had a job. I'm pretty sure having y'all watch the video interview, you know what I'm saying? Because Philly is a very persuasive man and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure he encouraged you with entrepreneurship. Well, how did you know what exactly to do as far as in a business mode? Because I know you already had your clients as far as people you were coaching as far as with the track, with fitness and whatnot. But then how did you transition into apparel and all that good stuff?
Okay, so apparel actually started before I even got into transition to training full time. I was training part time because I would I would be a teacher, I would be a coach, and then I would train private clients. So I was training part time. The pandemic happened, and everything was shut down, but I still had my teaching job. So you know, I still had I didn't have the effects. I didn't feel the effects of like, oh, I'm starting a new business and it crashed because I still had my full time salary. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I could still navigate how I want to. I can still do a little bit, but you know, the world was shut down. So I was like, okay, it doesn't make sense. Like, what I'm gonna do? This is a new brand coming out, and people just gonna be like, oh, like no one knows. Like I had no way to market or to have any type of public exposure prior to that. So I you know, since I said once the world opened back up, and you know, I went back to training part-time and still have everything doing, but then when I ended up having to resign from my job, it was just a natural transition. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that like, oh, this is what I'm doing after that life-changing event.